Hi, I'm Matt. Welcome to Disney Planning Insights. Through creative content and live shows, we explain the hidden details of the Disney experience so that our clients can execute memorable adventures. Together with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel, we have helped hundreds of clients plan, book, and prepare for magical Disney vacations. Let our experience help you avoid common planning mistakes and maximize the enjoyment on your next Disney trip. So it's kind of crazy. A lot shorter intro. And it's a new week. Man, I gotta update that. I keep forgetting to update our likes. We just crossed the 170 subscriber platform on YouTube. Thank you guys all very much. And speaking of YouTube, we're still doing the YouTube spot every week, so you can check out what our best videos from last week are. And it was a big week when it came to videos. The Disneyland Magic Happens Parade got almost 8,000 views last week. Mickey and Minnie's Very Merry Memories Parade got about 500 views. And then our newest video, which will change quickly, is our DPI Top 3 Snack Stands. Released right before the show is our DPI Top 3 of the restaurants that are worth the money. So go over to YouTube and check that out. And then on Thursday, we are releasing our client conversation with our neighbors on their trip that they took to Walt Disney World in June. And there's a lot of cool things that we talk about during that segment. It's about a 25-minute interview. We talk about what they did while they were down there, what they liked, what they didn't like, what went well, what didn't go well, kind of their thoughts on Genie Plus, all kinds of different things. So you definitely want to check that out. Go over to YouTube on Thursday and you can check that out. So new format of the show, and I've got all these new fun buttons to play with on my Stream Deck here. And big thing what we wanted to do is we wanted to segment the show out a little bit. For the longest time, for the last, we started this show in August of 2019. So for the last 3 years, we've basically been doing a long form news show. And it was great for what it was. We got to talk about the Disney parks. We got to talk about things that were going on. We got to talk about a lot of different things relating to Disney. And it kind of grew to what we wanted it to be, which was the informational series. And we call those the Foundation series. And that's going to be the So You're Going to Disney. And we broke it down into, where are you going to stay? What are you going to do? What are you going to eat? How much is it going to cost? And broke it into really good chunks of how do you get from point A to point B on a Disney World trip. Then from there, we started breaking down the parks a little bit, getting down to the parks a little bit more, taking footage, really starting to develop the shows that we were putting out and the videos that we were putting out on YouTube. And we just thought it was time to start developing this show into something that was a little bit more digestible on a weekly basis. So for all of our followers here and on Twitch, so YouTube and Twitch is where the show is going to kind of reside until one of them says you can't broadcast on the other at the same time. That's where the show's gonna kind of sit for a while. If you're new to Twitch, if you're just seeing us for the first time, hit that follow button. It really helps us out. We are trying to get to 10 followers by the end of September now, which would be great. We've done the Twitch thing for about 6 weeks now, and it's been fun. I have a lot of fun with different creators on Twitch. Really, the first one I gravitated to was Activator, just due to the quality of his streams. And then started playing a couple of different games, so I started getting into a couple of other creators over on Twitch. And I think it's an interesting platform, especially once you start getting a community going on what it could become. You know, being able to ask questions in a community, you know, the same way you kind of can do it on YouTube now. But it's just a lot easier, I feel, on Twitch sometimes, to where you can go in there and just, hey, you know, especially, I don't want to call them low-end streamers, but streamers that don't have a lot of viewers during their live streams, you tend to get questions answered. And I think that's to the point where we're at right now, is we get eyeballs every week. We get interaction every week, which is awesome. We've released a question form on our website now. If you go to the front page of our website at patmdisneytravel.wixsite.com/planning, up in the top right corner, I'll actually show it to you guys. You can find our new question for the live show. So let's see, this one here, and right there you can see on the front page we have a question for the live show, and you can put your questions for the Q&A at the end of the show and for the top 3 segment. So cool stuff there. And then from there, what we wanted to do is we wanted to have some fun segments when it came to the show. So how this is going to work is we're going to do 15 minutes of news. And it's going to be a hard 15 minutes. Like, I'm going to bring Peter on. We're going to talk about the news for 15 minutes. And then we have a buzzer that goes off that says you're done with the news. And then that's going to tell us to move on. And we're going to move on. And we're going to do the top 3. And the top 3 segment is randomly drawn. I've got our chips right here. I actually don't have our thing up right now, so better do that really quick. And we've got a list of about 40 top 3s right now. Again, if you have ideas for things that you want us to do a top 3 on, put those on the website. They're always fun to get them from outside of our mind sometimes, to get things that other people want to hear about, or other people want us to answer. I mean, sometimes that's just funny, is, you know, giving us one that's just like hard for us to come up with legitimate answers, or embarrassing, or, you know, it just have fun with it. You know, we're gonna take everything we have and everything that we do with a grain of salt, because in the end it's just to help out our viewers. You know, in the end we want to help you plan a good Disney trip for your family, or for yourself, or for whoever. And if you use us as the travel agent, great. If you don't, hopefully we helped you in some way, because that's what we're here to do. So like I said, we're going to get here into the news and talk about D23 and a little bit of Disney Plus Day. Disney Plus Day is Thursday. So let's go ahead and get into that. We're going to make sure all of our buttons work here. All right. So that button worked. So as you can see up over here, I've got a 15-minute timer, and that is going to let me know how long I've got to do the news. So news this week, we've got a lot going on. I say a lot. A lot's kind of a weird way to say what we've got going on. We've got 2 big things going on this week that are going to release a ton of news for next week. Next week's show, you don't want to miss. Next week's show is going to be full of stuff, and we might even do a special show on Sunday after the parks panel. So if you see us go live on Sunday, definitely check that out, because it means something big happened during the parks panel at D23. So this week, what do we have going on? Well, the first thing that we've got going on is Disneyland is seeking performers for a parade. They've got 4 parades that it could be. They've got Paint the Night, they've got Magic Happens, they've got the return of the Main Street Electrical Parade, and then their holiday parade. So 4 parades. They should already have their holiday parade cast, and they should be already rehearsing for their holiday parade. A lot of the rumors, and Scott Gustin kind of broke it as it's going to be Magic Happens. Kind of bums me out. I love Magic Happens. It might be my favorite parade I've ever seen on associated with Disney. It is an absolutely fantastic parade, fantastic floats, a lot of really, really cool things. But I was really hoping that would come to Walt Disney World as part of the 50th. You know, since they got Disneyland got Main Street Electrical Parade, I was hoping we'd either get Paint the Night or Magic Happens, and hoping for Magic Happens. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. It looks like Magic Happens is recasting in Disneyland, and with them recasting, we're probably looking at a early 2023 window for whatever parade that is. So right after the holidays, you bring in the Magic Happens parade, and there you go. Fantasmic is coming back. We know it's coming back. It's been coming back for a long time. But it took a couple of big steps this past week. The first step was Disney confirmed that cast rehearsals are happening for Fantasmic. The other thing is they are doing some daytime testing of the water features. And that's pretty cool. So we've got new scenes in Fantasmic. Disneyland already has them implemented. They basically cut the Pocahontas scene out from the old show, added a couple of new scenes, is what it is. But it's cast and it's rehearsing at Walt Disney World. Now, again, with it rehearsing right now, I would expect we're looking at the holiday season, early November at the earliest, for Fantasmic to be back. Kinda bummer. I mean, it's great it's coming back. Don't get me wrong. Great it's coming back. But to me, Fantasmic should have been one of the first things that came back. You're going to pack... I don't know. You're going to pack people for Harmonious around the thing. I mean, I guess Fantasmic is really the only one that has a stage, but it could have also been the only one that had true social distancing when it came back as well. Because you could have marked out seats, you could have had 2 showings, you could have got relatively the same amount of people through each night into showings instead of 1. But it is coming back. They are rehearsing it right now, and we will see it here. Like I said, probably in a couple of months. I don't think you're going to see it anytime before November. I think we'll get a date this weekend. I think that's kind of what we're looking at. All right, new subscriber, Terry Ramoni. Welcome to the channel over on YouTube. Thank you very much for subscribing. All right, next thing. Disney is actively exploring memberships, a program that could offer discounts and/or perks to customers who spend more time at its theme parks, resorts, and streaming services. So this is interesting because I got this, when I get this, on the 31st. So that would have been on Wednesday of last week. This news kind of broke. And then I got something from Disney Plus, and it wasn't really from Disney Plus, it was from a marketing agency, about the Dropbox that we got about a month ago. And if you've watched the show before and seen the show, You'll know what's going on with that drop box. That drop box is pretty cool thing. It was a big box and it had a Minnie Mouse theme and it had a backpack and cookies and all kinds of stuff in there. To have a viewing party with Mickey Mouse, which was kind of cool. So I got this email and it was a survey on how much would I spend to have this kind of box come every month, and how much did I think it was worth, and how much did I think I would use the items that were in it, and how much value would it have if it was tied to a Disney Plus subscription. So they're really fishing for ideas on memberships right now. You know, you have the D23 memberships for what they are, but this one was kind of like a, hey, we're going to do a stuff box that's Disney stuff, that's just straight from Disney and not one of these off-brand type things, and we're going to send it to you. And the prices that they floated out there were like $50 a month and $40 a month and $40 including Disney Plus for the month. It would have been salty if it was the same type of stuff. Now, granted, there was a special edition pin in the box, which was really cool. There was a lithograph that was in the box. This one right here. And this thing is super cool. And this is from the archive. So there were some really, really cool things in there. But there was some stuff that we would probably never use. Some things that have kind of gotten thrown into piles. And I think it was a good mix of the stuff. So don't get me wrong. We really enjoyed the box. And, you know, that was one of the things that I did make sure to say was the box was really cool. But there were some items that I felt were useless to at least us as a family in that box. So, but yeah, interested to see how they could do something with memberships, whether it be in lieu of or in addition to annual passes. If you're a friend of the Main Street Mouse, got a post from them that their Lost Princess apparel leggings, they've got certain styles on sale right now for $10. So go over to themainstreetmouse.com and you can probably find that link there to the Lost Princess apparel leggings. Do what you will with that. All right. Magic Key holders can save 30% on select merchandise at Disneyland Resort from September 21st through October 14th. So this is one of the things that was kind of alluded to when Chapek talked about the unfavorable mix, and then when Josh D'Amaro kind of followed him up and called older Disney fans, legacy fans, people that remembered the parks before COVID, that annual pass holders and people that don't go a lot don't spend the same type of money that the one-time trippers do. And, you know, I kind of take a little bit of offense to that, and I've seen it spoken probably a lot better than I'm going to put it out right now. But I don't know that I've ever gone to Disney and worn the same shirts twice. Every time that we go, we have new merchandise that we're wearing. We're buying new pins. We're buying new ears. We're buying sometimes new suitcases and that kind of stuff, and most of it comes from the Disney stores to go to the parks. So for them to say, yeah, you don't spend the same amount of money, I think we kind of do. And, you know, it kind of hurts to have that categorization of, yeah, we just don't care about you because you come all the time, and we'd rather have somebody that's never been here that doesn't know how much it is and is going to spend that money. But talking about that, let's talk about this discount. It's 30% off select merchandise at certain Disney-owned and operated locations across the Disneyland Resort. So yeah, through most of the scary season, and then we get the DVC and AP discounts on hotels through the Christmas season. All right, mixed drinks coming to Magic Kingdom. So there will be an elevated drink menu at Skipper Canteen later this month. And that's going to be kind of cool to have some cocktails within the park. I don't know if it's a big deal for... Again, we don't normally drink a lot at the parks. If we have a beer at Epcot or something like that as a family, it's a big deal. Or if we have like a margarita or something during dinner, it is what it is. But past that, we're not big drinkers at the parks. So it's not going to make a huge deal to us. But as far as people that do like to drink at the parks, or when we go on our adult-only trips with my wife and myself, you know, it might be something that, hey, we want to do Skipper Canteen now because I can get a rum and Coke there or something. So we'll see. Donald's Dino Bash returns to Animal Kingdom on September 4th. So that would have been on Sunday. So we got Donald, Launchpad McQuack, Scrooge McDuck, Daisy Duck, Donald Duck, Chip and Dale, all coming back to Dinoland USA. And Chip and Dale are back in their dinosaur pajamas, which is kind of the best thing about Dinoland USA, is the meet and greet with Chip and Dale in the pajamas. Really like that. That's a lot of fun. Kids have always liked that as well. So, no, it just... Dinoland USA, I think, is going to go the way of the dinosaurs here real soon, because I think that makes the most sense if Walt Disney World was to think about an Avengers campus, it going into Animal Kingdom, and they could do the theming to Wakanda. There's been a little bit of talk about that back and forth. Be interested to see if it's something that actually happens, but hey, we're gonna hear a lot this weekend. Again, we've got Disney Plus Day on Thursday. That is going to be the release of Cars on the Road. It is going to be the Disney Plus release of Thor: Love and Thunder. Disney Plus, I guess the overall release of the live-action Pinocchio, as well as a lot of other different things. If you are at the parks, there are a lot of things going on there as well, which is going to be pretty cool if you're at the parks. You know, last year you got hats, you got early entry time if you were a Disney Plus subscriber. So, cool there. And then this weekend you've got D23 with the big panel being on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, the Disney Plus, or the Disney Parks panel. So, stay tuned. We got a lot going on. And that's our timer. 15 minutes worth of news. There you are. So, we're sitting and waiting and trying. What we're going to do this a little bit backwards today. I am going to go ahead and do the question. And let me find a good question. I had a good question, and then I was like, nah, I don't think I really like that question. So let's go find another question for the question and answer segment, and I'm just going to do it on my screen here. So and we'll go here. All right, I do like this question. I keep going back to it. So the big news at the parks last week, at least from in the parks, was the absolute lack of crowds that were at the parks. And the question that was asked, and let me see if I have a username here. It is Sincerely Sammy asks, do slow crowds in Disney World mean the end of revenge travel? So revenge travel has been an interesting term. Basically, as the COVID restrictions were loosened up, more and more people decided that they wanted to travel and use up some of those funds that we got for free from our government to travel to Walt Disney World or to finish up the trip that was cut short, canceled, didn't happen because of COVID. And last week, we saw crowds half to 3/4 of what they've been through the summer. And one thing that's really been pushing that has been kids going back to school. We do have that across the country now. Northeast, for the most part, is all back to school as of this week. So you're going to start seeing even lower crowds, I would imagine, for the next couple of weeks. You know, once we got past the holiday, we'll have low crowds probably until, beginning of October as fall breaks start. I know for us, fall break was always a good time to go down to Disney. It wasn't as busy as summer breaks and spring breaks, but there's still a good crowd there. And then I think you're going to see eventually that crowd build back up around first week in November when the Christmas parties start. You'll get a little bit of a lull between that initial Christmas party crowd and then through about Thanksgiving. It'll pick up about Thanksgiving again and then start to slowly increase. I guess I'll increase this way until you get to Christmas. Peter and I have been talking about this for months. That we thought most people were going to be using. You had to use your travel stuff by the beginning of this month. Any of the travel credits that you had to be used by the beginning of this month. We really thought once that happened, you were really going to see the crowds die down. And then from there, you were going to see them drop even further because of what's going on economically in the country. With a recession, with the hiring conditions that we have, with a lot of different things. So you have got a lot of factors that are really going to be playing into a very, very, very slow spring season. I think if you are wanting to plan a trip and you have the ability to go anytime from like the second week of January through the first week of March, take out Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, I think you're going to have wonderful crowds at that time. And then you'll see your spring break crowds rebound. I think you're going to have a relatively slow end of April through middle of May, 3/4 of the way through May. And then you're going to start seeing the spring break crowds start picking up. But I really think it's going to go back to the cycle it was. I think a lot of things brought on what happened shortly after the pandemic. You know, You saw crowds grow as capacity in the parks grew. And really, if you look at it, most of the time, most of the parks were at or near the capacity that Disney wanted them to be at. Now you're going to start seeing the parks, and the wait times already have shown it. Let me see if I can find this. This was really telling last week. There's a Twitter handle, and this might take me a second to find it, but I'll know it as soon as I see it, that charts wait times throughout the day. Here it is. Let me go over to the screen real quick so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. So these are average wait times basically per day in the parks. And this gives you different lines throughout the day. So time of day across the bottom, wait time up the left side of this graph. And if you look back every other week, and this is for Animal Kingdom, for Hollywood Studios, for Magic Kingdom, it all shows a significant drop in wait time. And I think you're going to see that go down even further as we get farther into the fall. You know, there's been a lot of talk about the possibility of Guardians going to a standard standby line, because the boarding groups in the afternoon aren't filling up. So you've got this big group of boarding groups. Another new subscriber, Dora Demianov. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. Again, if you haven't subscribed over there yet, definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hang out for a while. We've got some really cool videos on parades and stuff like that. So if you like Disney stuff, you'll like our channel. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button. But yeah, just a lot of lower wait times going on right now. So just waiting to see what that's going to look like as we go forward, as the revenge travel kind of fades away. I think you're seeing a little bit of it, and you'll see kind of spurts as there's some more loosening for international travel. But I think internationally there's kind of a fear of coming to the States right now, for a lot of different reasons. And I've heard a lot of different things, like people not feeling safe and people feeling like there's always fights at the parks, because there's been a lot of news of violence at the parks and that kind of stuff. You know, we know as a collective group that it's not as bad as the news makes it sound, and it's never as good as the news makes it sound. It lies somewhere in the middle. But you know, the overseas travelers are really, I've really heard a lot of worry about not only the lack of COVID restrictions, but also their safety, their family safety, as part of a trip. So Peter is on his way, so we are trying to stall enough for him to get here so we can do the top 3 segment with him tonight. Again, thank you tonight to Terry Ramoni and Dora Demianov. That's probably the best I've said it the whole night. For their subscriptions over on YouTube. So let's see here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. We'll see if this works, and if it does, great. If it doesn't, well, we can only hope. We can only hope things are going to work. What else do we have going on? Not a whole lot. Really wanting to jump into this top 3 segment so we can get it done. Kind of just waiting on Peter to get here right now and check that out. If you do want to find us, definitely check out those sites down there. Facebook, best place to find us at DPI Podcast. Over on Twitter at Disney Insights. On the Twitter sphere, we are now at... I don't know. 164 followers on Twitter, 171 on Facebook, or on YouTube. We're like at 250 something on Facebook. So thank you guys all for liking, sharing, following, everything that you guys do. Very, very much appreciate it. Again, still waiting on Peter to get here for a few more minutes. Hopefully we can get this show going. At least the top 3 segment here really soon. Till then, I wonder if I can just throw on... Nah, I'm not going to do that. I just want to hang out here for a little bit and check it out. So let's go over to the website. If you haven't been over to our website, again, check out our website. Here's the site. It's going down at the bottom right now. It's patmdisneytravel.wixsite.com/planning. When you hit that link, you are going to go to here. And this is what the website looks like. So our website is going to consist of, well, a Zoom meeting waiting screen. Requesting a vacation quote. Check your chat. Check your chat. Check your chat. Do you have any info or ideas on what will be new in Fantasmic? I've heard it will be different. It will be different. So they took out the Pocahontas scene for whatever reason and have added scenes from Coco and from I don't know, from Coco and from something else. But yeah, again, I'm trying not to spoil it for myself. So I do know that there are 2 new scenes on the new show. Yeah, I know. I'm getting sick of looking at myself. So, all right, back to the website. Let's check this out real quick. So if you want to request a vacation quote, you can hit this green button up here. It actually takes you to a form that you can fill out, and you can send it straight to us. If you want to know our Foundation series, here's our Foundation series. You're Going to Disney. You're Going to Disney series. If you want to ask a question or have an idea for a top 3, you can enter it into that little white box up in the top corner. Our podcasts, our blogs, everything's here. Replays of the show, you can check out here. Everything from our YouTube channel, you can check out here. Which that's our restaurant one is the newest thing. Our blog series, the DPI rankings, all of our park detail series, you can check out here. It's very, very, very informational if you're looking for not just like clickbaity news and stuff like that. I mean, we really try and put stuff in here that people will enjoy and people will use. I mean, there's the You're Going to Disney series, the whole series. And there's a lot of thought put into these posts. So definitely want to check those out if you have questions concerning, like I said, Disney World, Disneyland, Walt Disney Cruise Lines. We're going to be updating that quite a bit since we took a cruise earlier this year. We have a ton of content from that cruise that we're going to be adding to the site as well. So yeah. We're still waiting on Peter to get here. What I might do is go ahead and get through the intro and have the question picked, and then really put him on the spot when he gets on here. I don't know. Really just trying to figure out what I can do here to string this along just a little while longer. Hey, look at that. We might have him here in the next couple of minutes. Let's see here. He's running around. Watch out. Don't necessarily want a dead air, but hey, you're here. You're here. All right. There you go. There you go. All right. Well, we're going with what we got. Business trip.
Did the people move around?
It does tingle a little bit. So let's see. We're going to see that, and now we see you. So how you doing tonight, Mr. Salvadori?
Wait, you didn't see me before?
No, we didn't see you before. I was just talking to you on the screen.
Oh, well, I'm doing well. How are you?
Thanks for joining us tonight. It is another edition of the Disney Top 3 from the DPI Planning Podcast. And the first two we kind of did for fun, but they ended up being so good that we went ahead and posted them. It's time for the third one, and we are going to lose you for a second here because what I said I was going to do a long time ago, I never did. And we are going to get to a point where we can pull out our question for today. So, are you ready for the fun that we are about to have with question number 18?
I suppose so.
All right. Question number 18 is your top 3 places to meet Mickey Mouse.
Oh my gosh.
And you have 20 seconds.
Thinking about taking a trip to Disneyland, Disney World, maybe a Disney cruise, or one of the other amazing Disney destinations? Contact me at Princess of the Mouse, and I'd love to work with you on your itinerary to the most magical places in the world.
You can contact Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel on Facebook at PATM Disney Travel. Okay. Top 3 places to meet Mickey Mouse. What is your number 3?
I'm going to go with number 3. So when we say meet Mickey Mouse, do I mean see Mickey Mouse, or do I mean like shake a hand, sign an autograph? I should have asked for clarification before the video.
I would say shake a hand, sign an autograph.
Okay, so I got to actually like meet Mickey Mouse. All right.
Correct.
So then For that, I will say that my number 3 is at Hollywood and Vine.
Okay.
And in Hollywood Studios, Hollywood and Vine, throughout the year has a Minnie Mouse for lunch and dinner. It's Minnie Mouse's sort of seasonal dine, and in the seasonal dine, the characters change their apparel. So if you go over the holiday time, they're dining like more Christmassy outfits. If you go during Halloween time, they have costumes on. And if you go throughout the rest of the year, it's kind of like this glitz and glamour one. So because of the unique and changing outfits, that's my first answer for best places to meet Mickey Mouse.
So I am going to stay in Hollywood Studios, but I'm going to go to the meet and greet across from the ABC commissary, Red Carpet of Dreams, and you actually get to meet Mickey and Minnie back there, but they are special in costumes, with Mickey being Fantasmic Mickey or Fantasia Mickey, whichever one that your kids gravitate to the most. And Minnie Mouse wears a fancy dress back there as well. But the photo spot for that one is really, really good because it looks like you are in the Sorcerer's Chamber. And Peter has a picture or something. He's left the screen and...
Oh, all my... Keep going. Keep talking.
So that is, the Minnie Mouse one is kind of like a red carpet meet and greet, and then the Mickey Mouse one is like the sorcerer's chair. Yeah,
I don't know what
shit. It just came up the stairs because we've got a picture from.
Oh, nice.
From that, yeah. Bring it over here. Bring it over here.
You might as well. Everything else is going wrong. We might as well just do everything else. So
here you go. So yeah, pretty cool picture of Mickey Mouse in his Fantasia outfit with the sorcerer's hat and everything from a couple of years ago. All right. So what is... Hey, look at this guy.
I fixed my lighting. I couldn't figure out why my light wasn't turning on. And then I realized it. I was like, screw it. I'm fixing it. This is already...
All right.
Oh, what a night. Okay. Number two, because I knew my number 3 and my number 1. I'm gonna go with my number 2 spot, just kind of for nostalgia. We'll go with Magic Kingdom. When you first go in, off to the right-hand side, you're able to make Mickey Mouse there in across from the Emporium, across from the. It's really where like the photo area is where you can go in there, and Mickey Mouse is there. And so that's just sort of something magical about meeting Mickey Mouse in Magic Kingdom. So that's got to be a good spot to go meet Mickey.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring up that spot because that's normally one of the best places to meet Mickey Mouse, because he will always have, when he does a special outfit or something like that, like when they did his birthday celebration, he had a special outfit, and that was the only place you could see him in that special outfit other than in the parade.
Right.
When doing the 50th, he's got a special outfit for the 50th, and that's the only place you can see it. So that's a really great place. My number 2 spot to meet Mickey Mouse is kind of my go-to when it comes to families going to Walt Disney World, and that's Chef Mickey's.
I knew it was going to be on your list, so I didn't put it on mine.
So, Chef Mickey's, such a great atmosphere. Great for smaller kids. Food, it's food. But the atmosphere, being in the Contemporary, seeing the monorails go by, and then the enthusiasm with the characters and the songs and everything like that, that makes it my number 2 place to meet Mickey Mouse. All right. So it takes us to our number 1.
My number 1, my favorite place to meet Mickey Mouse, and this goes as no surprise because it is somewhere that I talk about all the stinking time. My favorite place to meet Mickey Mouse is at Topolino's Terrace for breakfast, because Topolino's Terrace is just a fantastic atmosphere. It is a really, really cool thing to see them in their Riviera artistic themed kind of costumes. And the food is phenomenal. The atmosphere is phenomenal. The scenery and view is phenomenal from up there on the top of Riviera. And so that is, if I go to Disney and I meet Mickey Mouse, like 80% chance that the spot that I met Mickey Mouse is because I got a reservation for Topolino's Terrace for breakfast.
All right. No, it's a fantastic one. Topolino's Terrace, it's a hard reservation to get, but if you get it, it is 100% worth it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely 100% worth it. My number one is kind of hidden. So my number one is going to be...
Mickey's. That's the best place to meet Mickey.
Is Adventurer's Outpost in Animal Kingdom. Another very, very unique outfit. So you get to meet Safari Mickey and Safari Minnie. Very unique outfits. They're dressed like the drivers on Kilimanjaro safaris. And just, again, another really cool place. I mean, we've talked about, 6 places to meet Mickey Mouse right now, and in none of the places he's wearing the same outfit. And in your first one, he wears 4. So
yeah, we didn't even cover all of them because there's more.
There are.
Like, I have two others in the top of my head right now, which means that I'm sure there's even more.
Yeah, and we've lost a couple.
Yeah.
So, so we've lost like the one that was in Innovations at Epcot. So great top 3 tonight on the top 3 places to find Mickey Mouse. Anything else that you want to put on this episode as far as character meet and greets and any tips? Don't die.
In the terms of character meet and greets, did you mention the kid climbing on the float and meeting Pluto's foot?
No, I did not. So
that is a very unique meet and greet. So a kid the other day at Magic Kingdom during the parade climbed up on the back of the float that contains Pluto on the stage. And as the kid went up the stairs, Pluto, whether intentional or not intentional, but it kind of looked mostly intentional, just straight up like puts the kid in the face to get him to like fall off the float. It wasn't forceful or anything, but it was definitely like a foot shove.
Yeah, don't get on the floats, guys. Don't cross in front of the parades. Don't sit in the scenery leaving Space Mountain. I mean, come on.
Unique meet and greet. Hey, yes. Remember that time when my face met your foot?
All right. Well, Peter, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode, and then I'll talk to you here for a little bit afterwards, okay?
Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry, everybody. Just best laid plans. I'll be here next week.
Have a good night. All right, everybody. It took a little while, but Peter with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel joined us tonight. You can check him out over on Facebook at PATM Disney Travel. If you're looking for us on social media, you can find us over on Facebook at DPI Podcast, on Twitter at Disney Insights, Instagram at Princesses and the Mouse, and on YouTube, the Disney Planning Insights Podcast. We're just about everywhere, so you can find us and let us know what's going on. Thank you guys all for watching, listening, everything that you do. Have a good week, and we will talk to you next week, September 13th. Bye now.